When I was young, I was happy and cheerful, but then a tragedy struck. It was difficult to get over it. My family, friends, and teachers helped me for months until I finally stopped thinking about it. March 5th, 2018. I was driven to the hospital along with my brother. I was going to visit my father and check on how he was doing. I felt nervous because it was only like my fifth time at the hospital. I was also nervous because I did not know what was going to happen. I was so stricken when my aunt came to me and told me the news. My father had passed away. I was only 7 when my father passed away. I was so heartbroken I ended up crying on the spot. I did not know what to do. It was that day I realized how much I loved him. My brother comforted me and made me feel better. I was still very devastated by my father's death. I had not received any news on how he died. We went to the airport on March 13, 2018. I did not know why we were at the airport, which made me feel anxious. The only thing that was exciting for me was the airplane flight. What was exciting about the airplane flight was the feeling of going up into the air because of that butterfly feeling in my stomach. Looking down to see how high we were and all those squares that you cannot see when you're on the ground. Also, I enjoy watching movies on the little screen on the seat in front of me. We were at my aunt's house with my father in the coffin. It was like I was in a dark room with only fire lighting it up. I thought it was beautiful. There was a picture of my father on the wall. I went to get food since I was extremely hungry. Then, after a few hours, the unexpected happened. A truck came to my aunt's house and took my father onto the bed of the truck, while my mother was just standing there. I was so confused about what was happening. Then I realized that we were taking my father to the graveyard. Me, my mother, my brother, and my sister got into the truck and we started crying. The entire family was right behind me, walking behind the truck. When we arrived there, I saw that it is not a graveyard that I see in the movies, but it is a graveyard with more concrete on the floor and more modernized ways of burying people. The people in the truck got out and carried my father's coffin. My family was in a group around those people, and they opened the coffin. We had a few minutes to say our goodbyes before they buried him. I didn't say anything since I was shy and nervous, but also because I didn't know him too well. I didn't spend much time with him in my lifetime. That is my only regret I have with my father. They carried the coffin up the steps and laid him down onto the concrete of the burial ground. I wanted to go up the steps and look at my father, but I just stayed still where I was. I hugged my mother as I cried, and she told me not to worry. They put a concrete plate on top of the burial ground and stuck it on with cement. We came back to Miami and I had a week worth of work to make up at school. My classmates asked me why I was crying. They didn't know yet that my father had passed away. I only told one friend that day. He told me he was very sorry and was shocked. In the beginning of the day, my teacher asked me what was wrong. I told her that my father had passed away. Then in the middle of the day, my teacher called me and told me to go to the office. I didn't know where the office was, yet I was in first grade. So she sent a classmate with me. I went to the office and the assistant principal talked to me and made me feel better. A few days later, more and more people started to learn about it. They felt very sorry for me. I said I was fine when I really wasn't. I said this because they telling me they were sorry made me feel worse. After about a month, they stopped telling me they were sorry about it. Then, after more months, I started to feel better about it. Then, around the beginning of second grade, I told a friend of mine that my father had passed away. He felt so bad for me that every time he saw me play football alone on Fun Friday, he'd always play with me. He was such a good friend because every time I got sad, he'd always cheer me up with a joke. That's when I stopped thinking about my father's death frequently. I also remember every time I got sad and I would cry, I would always try not to show that I was crying or that I was sad. I thought that if a friend saw me crying, they would make fun of me. My family helped me by hugging me and telling me he went to a better place now. I loved my family and I'm happy that my friends and I appreciate that my teachers helped me through a rough time of my life. I'm grateful to have my family, friends, and teachers in my life.